Welcome! A new digital scan of the Titanic has revealed details no one ever expected. This expedition has brought back to light mysteries buried for more than a century. Number 10. The descent into absolute darkness. The journey began when the drone was lowered into the icy waters of the Atlantic, slowly descending toward the nearly 12,500 feet where the Titanic has rested for over 100 years. The operators watched the monitors without a word as the artificial light began revealing suspended particles and drifting sediment in the total blackness. Tension rose with every meter, knowing they were entering a place untouched by human eyes since 1912. The seabed appeared like a silent graveyard, covered with debris, telling forgotten stories. Twisted metal pieces, decayed wood, and personal belongings lay scattered like frozen traces of the past. It was only the beginning, yet enough to make the team realize this mission would uncover secrets impossible to ignore. Number 9. The appearance of the bow. As the drone moved forward, a massive shape formed through clouds of sediment, instantly recognizable, even after a century of abandonment. The bow of the Titanic. The operators held their breath as it emerged from the darkness, monumental and unsettling. The lights revealed distorted portholes, corroded steel, and collapsed structures, showing how time had consumed the giant. Yet its shape remained, almost intact in its tragedy. The drone performed precise maneuvers to capture every angle without causing damage. The team's astonishment was palpable. This was no longer simple exploration, but a journey into the heart of history. That moment marked the shift from curiosity to the awareness that the wreck still held many untold stories. Number 8. Interiors frozen in time. When the drone crossed the inner entrance, the scene felt surreal. Warped corridors, rusted railings, and sediment-covered floors created an almost dreamlike landscape. Some areas were destroyed, others surprisingly preserved thanks to the cold and lack of oxygen at such depths. Overturned tables, chairs still in place, and scattered plates made the view resemble a still frame. From 1912, intact suitcases lay half-buried, and personal objects gleamed under the drone's lights. The melancholic beauty of what remained of life on board deeply moved the operators, who felt the fragility of this place suspended between history and tragedy. Every inch revealed suggested that the Titanic still had much to say. Number 7. The wreck as a natural archive. With ultra-high-definition cameras and integrated lasers, the drone enabled researchers to create the most accurate three-dimensional models ever made of the ship's interior. The scans revealed not only the structural condition, but also crucial clues about how deterioration progressed. Curved walls, broken beams, and collapsed floors offered precious information about failure mechanisms during and after the sinking. Every captured image became a vital piece in reconstructing dynamics long misunderstood. The ability to analyze the entire wreck without touching it was a major step toward preserving what remains of the Titanic. For experts, these reconstructions are key to understanding how the ship truly broke apart and will support future virtual conservation efforts. Number 6. The mysterious sealed passage. Amid debris and collapsed walls, the drone spotted an unexpectedly intact passage, as if something inside had been shielded from the surrounding destruction. The frame was strangely clean, without visible deformation, and a small trail of sediment seemed to seep from a narrow fissure. The operators immediately sensed something unusual. Theories ranged from a service room to a forgotten storage area, even to more unsettling possibilities. but the fragile structure prevented any attempt to open it. The spot was mapped and marked for further study. This discovery amplified the feeling that the Titanic still hides areas full of unresolved secrets, making the mission more complex than anticipated. Number 5. Ethical questions resurfacing. As the expedition continued, the team faced deep moral dilemmas. The Titanic is not just a wreck, it is the grave of more than 1,500 people. Every movement of the drone required extreme care out of respect for the dead. Internal debates arose about which images should be shared and which should remain private. Some emphasized the documentary importance. Others feared hurting the victims' families. Photographs considered too personal or potentially distressing were omitted from public releases. The team also consulted descendants of passengers, receiving mixed responses of gratitude and sorrow. Working in such a place meant balancing science and humanity. And as the drone progressed, it became clear that some discoveries would profoundly shift the public's understanding of the tragedy. Number 4. Clues rewriting the sinking dynamics. Footage showed surprisingly intact areas beside others totally collapsed, a contrast that challenged theories accepted for decades. Corridors filled with objects, all pushed in the same direction, suggested far more violent water flows than previously believed. Beams twisted inward pointed to sudden pressure changes or unexpected failures during the final moments. In one storage room, even a safe was wedged into the ceiling, as if lifted by a sudden force. These details revealed that the Titanic did not sink in a linear fashion, but through a chaotic sequence far more complex. Experts now believe the structural failure was irregular, abrupt, and devastating, triggering a chain of events very different from past reconstructions. Number 3. Personal items as silent witnesses. Shoes perfectly placed, closed suitcases, sealed bottles, and intact dishes appeared like fragments of a world interrupted in an instant. Their arrangement told silent stories. A row of shoes aimed toward a collapsed exit suggested a desperate attempt to escape. Stacked luggage hinted at a sudden surge of water, sweeping everything aside. Many objects were so well preserved, they seemed recently abandoned. The footage showed life frozen in a moment of panic, pain, and hope. Every detail captured the passengers' final actions, offering an intimate perspective no historical document had ever conveyed. Witnessing these objects deeply affected the team. Number 2. The hidden room and the shocking discovery. Pushing past a collapsed area, the drone found a perfectly isolated chamber sealed since 1912. As the light filled the room, lifted objects, overturned furniture, and century-old still sediment appeared. Then, in the darkness, something took shape. Human remains. It was clearly the body of a child, with fragments of clothing still visible. Moments later, a second body appeared beside the first, as if the two had held each other during their final moments. The entire team fell silent, stunned. Nearby, an adult shoe suggested a parent who had vanished elsewhere. The scene was so devastating that it was immediately classified and protected. Number 1. The unsettled legacy of the wreck. By the end of the mission, the team resurfaced, carrying an emotional weight difficult to describe. The footage was shared only with selected experts to prevent speculation and scandal. Still, small leaked fragments sparked a global debate about the moral implications of exploration. Some argue research must continue before the wreck collapses completely. Others believe the Titanic should be left undisturbed. Families of victims expressed mixed emotions, torn between curiosity and grief. The expedition raised profound questions about the boundary between science and respect. Today, the Titanic is seen not just as a wreck, but as a silent warning about human fragility. Thanks for watching until the end. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our next content. See you soon for more adventures and curiosities.